Welcome to Daily Action Picks. I'm Anthony Dabbundo, and I have two college basketball best bets for today's jam-packed Tuesday college basketball slate. Let's head up north to Syracuse for our first game of two, as struggling Clemson visits Syracuse in a get-right spot for both teams after both lost this weekend. The Orange are favored by 3.5 points at home, but the number looks a bit short to me. The one major reason, Clemson has a lot of offensive shooting regression coming. The Tigers are 15th in the country, 38.4% shooting from three this year. That's pretty impressive when you look at it at face value. But when you compare it to last year's numbers, when they were outside the top 100 in three-point shooting percentage with mostly the same group of players, and the fact that they rank outside the top 100 in open three rate and just 85th in catch and shoot rate according to shot quality, it's hard to believe that the Tigers are going to be able to sustain that level of shooting even against a Syracuse zone defense that's in the bottom 50 of open threes allowed. Clemson just doesn't generate enough of them, ranking 257th in three-point shooting open rate. The Tigers' defense also isn't what it was in years past under Brad Brownell. Typically, the Tigers are a defense-oriented team. They're physical. This year, that just hasn't quite been the case. They tend to struggle in two main areas. One is defending ball screens, and one is in the mid-range. Well, that's two areas where Syracuse loves to live offensively, especially when you consider Buddy Boeheim is great in the mid-range, and they love to use double ball screens to generate space for their three-point shooters. Syracuse can shoot at 1 to 4, and I'm not sure Clemson has the ability to guard the perimeter consistently enough, given the number of open threes they've allowed this year. You also have to consider that Syracuse ranks pretty well in transition offense, whereas the Clemson defense is just 175th in transition defense per shot quality. So the Tigers should struggle to defend Cuse if the Orange look to push it. And given all of the close game variance that's coming Syracuse's way, I think it's a good get-right spot for the Orange at home, and they should win this game going away. I'd lay the 3.5. I'd lay it up to 4 with Syracuse. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. And for our second game, it's revenge time for Texas Tech after the Red Raiders lost in Ames to Iowa State on January 5th. Texas Tech was pretty shorthanded in that game. They only had 7 available players. 2 of those 7 fouled out. They were without Terrence Shannon, who is back from injury. He played about 18 minutes against Kansas State over the weekend. He should be back to full strength for this game at home. Lubbock, Texas is one of the biggest home court advantages in all of college basketball. They rank 4th according to KenPom. The shot quality battle in that first game, Texas Tech won it. They should have covered the game, and they should have really won the game. They only made 3 of 17 from beyond the arc, despite getting pretty good shot looks. But this is just a really bad matchup for Iowa State and a really bad spot for Iowa State. The Cyclones won over the weekend against Texas. They're now in a bit of a letdown, whereas Texas Tech is coming off of a road loss at Kansas State against an underrated Wildcats team. They'll have a chance to bounce back here, but really it's all about the matchup. Texas Tech is one of the best interior defenses in the country. It's the no-middle Mark Adams defense. They rank 15th in two-point field goal percentage allowed. Iowa State has been running way too hot from three. They've performed well over their expectation in terms of three-point shooting. Look no further than Gabe Kalsher for that. He made 6 of 12 over the weekend. A lot of regression coming for this perimeter offense for Iowa State. They will not keep making threes at this rate. And if they're not able to make threes and they're not able to get anything on the inside against Texas Tech, add in some turnover problems for the Cyclones, and it's very hard to see how Iowa State consistently scores in the half court. It's important to note in that first meeting, the second half of the game, Iowa State scored just 4 points in the first 10 minutes. Adams made some clear adjustments, and the Red Raiders should be able to lock up defensively and cover a spread, even despite a low total of 129. I'm comfortable laying 8 points with the Red Raiders at home in a revenge spot, and I think with Texas Tech and Syracuse, I don't typically love to back favorites, but this is a prime opportunity to buy low on some really good underrated favorites.